located at Richardson Memorial Coliseum here in Raleigh, North Carolina. Quick turnaround for ball games for me. I'm here in Carolina now alongside Shan Varner, owner and operator of the Chicago Wildcats. What's going on, Shan?
I mean, I'm having a blast. Glad to be here tonight with you and just to watch this great game just take place.
We've got the Tulsa Desperados visiting in to Raleigh to take on the Carolina Skyhawks. Shan, as we get a look at the rosters here, what do you expect to happen between these two teams?
Eric, I think it's going to be a close contest. I think both of the teams are going to come out running the ball. Mark Biddix is trouble with getting his passes off and getting completions down the road. So I think that what needs to transpire is both these teams will come out and run the ball very heavily. And Charles Ball's back there. He's waiting for that other pick. So come out, run the ball, and keep the ball out of Charles Ball's hands this evening.
And it looks like Carolina's actually going to start the game with the ball. Desperado's going to defend the north goal as they get the ball on the tee here. Kicker for Tulsa is K. Joseph Carroll, and he will kick off to the Skyhawks to start this game off. You ready to go, Shan?
Let's get it.
Let's go. From inside the 10-yard line, Carolina bringing it up. I believe that's Mark Strike, one of the wide receivers, bringing it up to the 26-yard line, and that is where Mark Biddix and company will take over.
Also, in this Carolina team is going to have to do a better job converting the third down. Their last game, they were 6 out of 16, so there's only a 37% ratio there. They're going to have to do a better job at getting this team going.
An awful conversion rate as Mark Biddix gets under center to start things off. 3 wideouts towards the bottom of the screen. He will pass over to the right-hand side. Looks like that's incomplete. Intended for Tristan Diacis.
The receiver did a great job by getting down the field quickly, but was unable to come away with that pass there.
And we get a look at the starting lineup on offense for the Carolina Skyhawks. A.J. Francis going to be in the backfield. We mentioned Mark Biddix at quarterback and also Tristan Diacis at wide receiver. Jalen Miller and Mark Strike are going to be your other wide receivers for this Skyhawk crew. Second and 10 from the 26 now for Carolina. Same formation. Biddix is going to throw another deep pass over the right-hand side. This time it'll be picked off. Tulsa's going the other way with it. You were just talking about it at the beginning of the game.
They can't afford to have those big mistakes down the field, and there you go, Charles Ball making a big reception right here and turning the ball over for Tulsa.
Nifty little grab by Charles Ball, taking it the other way. Little tip drill. They were probably working on that in practice. So real quickly, going the other way here is Tulsa. And we've got Sir Charles Robinson at quarterback, number 4. He's going to be under center, 2 backs in the backfield. Short drop. He's going to check it over to the right-hand side. He's got a wide receiver who steps out of bounds. Good chunk of yards for 9 on first down.
And this is something that we haven't seen in a while from Sir Charles Robinson. He's got to get the ball out quickly. He has a poor percentage rate. That's why they use Dion a lot more in these short first downs and things like that. But that Robinson connection is working for him.
7 touchdowns, 8 picks, and 62 completion rating for Sir Charles Robinson as he hands it off to the great one, Dion Hawkins. Brings it across the 20-yard line in the SFL red zone, 1st and 10.
They had a big hole there for him to run right up the middle. That defensive line needs to tighten up a little bit. They want more yardage to come out of Dion Hawkins.
Speaking of the defensive line, got Christopher Colon down there at defensive tackle. Jay Bolt and Phil Hall are your linebackers for Carolina. Greg Reedy and Pierre Luyandula are your corners. And Carolina makes a big stop right there, right at the line of scrimmage. Dion goes nowhere. And to round things out, we got the safeties, Scherster Pell and Giovanni Bolt back there for Carolina. So Charles Robinson is going to have Dion Hawkins in the backfield. Sonzo Robinson, the former Baltimore Crab, at wide receiver along with Corey Jones and U.S. Latorre, as Robinson actually gets sacked on the play. Big play by the defensive line coming in there.
It looks like number 93. If it wasn't sure of the number.
Yeah, that definitely was 93. It looks like that was Christopher Colon. I just mentioned him from his defensive tackle area. So now 3rd and long is what the Desperados are faced with. Robinson forced to throw over the middle of the field. That's caught, though, and they gave him the first down, 1st and goal for the Desperados.
By the defense there. Looked like that linebacker came around. If he was just a little bit faster, probably could have got to Robinson there for the sack.
Good looking play regardless. Threw it over to Marcel Miller, one of his non-contract wide receivers. And that sets up a 1st and goal from the 8-yard line. Desperados trying to strike first here. After the big pick on defense, Robinson needs to step up. He's going to get sacked.
The defense had a little twist in motion there. It might have been a twist, looked to be like a twist left there, and was able to confuse the offensive line for them to get the sack. Great job by that defensive line.
The wily veteran Deion Hawkins not able to hold him off. And David Gibbs gets in there for his first sack of the ball game. 2nd and goal now from the 17. Robinson will be in the gun with 5 wideouts.
Looks like Carolina is in a...
Oh, wow, what a play.
Oh, wow.
I was not expecting that to get picked off there, Shan.
Either. Great play by the defense.
It's like Kip Edwards getting in there. Last time I called a Carolina game, he had made some good plays there as well.
There, the corners came back into a great zone and get the completion there. Great job by that defensive DBs.
So defense is trading interceptions as we get a look at other action in the SFL. San Francisco taking a 7-0 lead over Houston, and Vancouver is up 3-0 on Dallas. 1st and 10 from the 20. Biddix avoiding pressure, throws off his back foot. Didn't quite get the feet inbounds to Jalen Miller. That's going to be 2nd down.
Both of these defensive lines are playing great today. They're getting their quarterbacks into hurry-up mode and all sorts of things, so they're doing a great job.
Griffin Brown is the defensive tackle for the Desperados. Jeffrey DeSur and Kyler Murray are going to be your corners. Espen Royale, the great linebacker in there at inside linebacker. Nate Heslip and Charles Ball, we've already mentioned him, are your safeties. Hand off to Francis. A.J. Francis dodging tackles out to the 29-yard line.
Defense was in a 3-4 right there, and anytime you can get that one-on-one matchup and you run the ball up the middle, you can get really, really good yards with that because everybody's pretty much covered on that formation.
And it looks like they're going to come with another 3-4 here. No, actually, they're going to come with more down linemen this time. Loading up the box. We'll see if Francis wants to run. He will not. Biddix is going to throw, has plenty of time. Gets rid of it over to the right-hand side and could have maybe pulled in that catch. Didn't quite make it happen, though.
Yeah, that was a tip-for-tap play there. I think if the defense could have got a little bit closer, it would have been a bad play for Mark Biddix.
So Carolina going to have to punt it for the first time this afternoon as we get a look down in Vancouver, actually up in Vancouver. Dallas takes the early lead 7-3 as they're in the 2nd quarter there in Vancouver. Carolina gets the ball away. Fielded just shy of the 30-yard line, and Charles Ball will bring it up to the 32. And Tulsa will take over for their 2nd possession. What are you looking for on the 2nd possession here, Shan?
I think they're going to have to spread the ball out a little bit, get their receivers a little bit more involved in this game. They've had a couple with Deion, and he's just not getting it. So a couple shots to Robinson, I think, is the key to game.
Sonzo Robinson making plenty of plays in a Baltimore Crab uniform, now in Tulsa. Sir Charles Robinson is going to check it down to Deion Hawkins. He'll get about 4.
I think that's a great play by Robinson there, just getting the ball out to Deion Hawkins right there. And yards short and sweet, not trying to force another turnover, and just working the ball down the field, just kind of
got some big names in the chat. Real Sense Kumbaya, Kanye, Rockefeller, CC25Y. Thanks for joining us, guys. As we get another handoff to Deion Hawkins, making some moves, still on his feet over on the right-hand side, bringing it out to the Carolina 47. That was an incredible run by the Wiley veteran.
Hate to see that man leave Chicago. Great run by Deion Hawkins there. And that's, in that run, that just says enough. I mean, great speed, great determination to keep the ball going, and able to make some great plays down the field.
It's true. He was making those kind of plays in the Thunderdome last season before he got his own team this year. As we get reset here, Sir Charles Robinson going to be under center, offset I formation. Deion Hawkins in the backfield. Looks like a little stretch play. Hawkins trying to make some effort here, only up to the line of scrimmage.
The defense closed in pretty quick on that. That was a great play by the defense.
Pierre Luyendula is the corner that made the tackle on that play. I'll eventually get his poor name right. Still a scoreless ball game. 5:35 left to go in the first. Robinson will pass this time. Over to his left. Looks like they might have ruled that a catch, and they did. 4-yard gain. They'll go a little no huddle here.
This is what Tulsa's good at. They're good at these dink and dunk and passes and getting these out routes.
It's like pretty much the same play on that call right there. Only it's just a bit shy of first down yardage.
Do here is to punt the ball away, and you know, your defense is playing great. Your defensive line, is playing great. You know, and it's only the first quarter of the game, so you know, take this right here and let your. Whoa, they're going for it.
It looks like they got the offense out on the field, and they're going to hand it off to Hawkins, and he's got first down yardage. 1st and 10 for Tulsa.
By Tulsa. If I had Deion Hawkins in the backfield, I'd probably go for it on 4th down too.
I can't necessarily fault the play call there. Good at the numbers for Sir Chuck Robinson. Looks like possibly another run formation. We'll see what happens as Carolina kind of adjusts some things on the defensive line. Robinson's going to throw. Deep pass over to the right-hand side. Has a man. Wide open. Touchdown, Tulsa.
Yeah, it looked like Carolina was in a cover 2 there and kind of playing man-to-man. When you get man-to-man coverage on Robinson here, he'll make you pay for it.
And there's that Robinson to Robinson connection we were talking about. Sanzo with the catch. It's now his 3rd receiving touchdown on the year. As we get a look at K. Joseph Carroll, who's going to kick the ball through the uprights, hopefully for Tulsa.
These field goals are not for sure.
They never are. They never are. Well, this one happens to be up and good. And we'll pause for 30 seconds while we play a little advertisement here.
Follow the SFL on Twitter @SimulationFL, on Facebook, and subscribe to our YouTube and Twitch channels. You're already here, right? Might as well stay tuned. Get league updates on your phone while browsing the internet, and make sure you never miss a live broadcast. Thank you for supporting the SFL.
And Tulsa kicks the ball away. Strike is going to field it at about the 5-yard line, and he'll be met right at the 25. They'll mark him at the 26, and that's where Carolina's going to take over for another possession here by Mark Biddix.
Eric, I think in this series right here, Carolina's going to have to get the run game going. You know, last game they rushed for 78 yards, but no touchdowns. They've got to run the ball in the red zone and make Tulsa pay.
That swarm defense holding Carolina to just 3 points last week. And we're going to get a handoff from to Francis, excuse me. He's been at the line of scrimmage, though. No gain, 2nd and 10.
Now it came in and put the pressure, you know, on the running back and got the other linebackers involved in it and got to stop behind the line.
Carolina in the middle of a 3-game losing streak, trying to snap the streak, get back in the win column. Tulsa undefeated on the year as Francis has some blockers on the right-hand side. Couldn't quite take full advantage of it. Pretty good 6-yard gain, 3rd and 4.
Yeah, it was pretty good. I think if he would have kept to the outside, I think he would have got a lot more yards. If, you know.
I was definitely thinking the same thing. Probably could have bounced it to the outside there. Looks like he had a guard and possibly one of his fullbacks over there, backup tight end. Francis is going to get first down yardage and more, though, out to the 40-yard line, 1st and 10, and they're starting to get the run game going here, Shan.
Yeah, and I like what I see, Eric. I mean, they've got to do this. They've got to stay consistent with it. A big, powerful back, and they need to utilize him in this offense.
A.J. Francis, definitely one of the scarier running backs in the SFL right now. Could rip it off for big play yardage at any point in time. We'll see what Biddix and company wants to do here. 1st and 10 from the 40. Biddix will hand it off again. Francis only gets about a yard or two that time. Wrapped up on the play by Espen Royale. Creeping inside, 3 minutes left to go in the first quarter. 2nd and 9. Biddix will throw this time. Deep pass over to the right. He's got a man. Caught by Jalen Miller.
Jalen did a great job by getting that post route. He curved in and then went right back out. Hopefully we get a replay of this.
Looks like we'll get it right here.
Right at the line, he goes in and then back out towards the post. And was just able to get over that defensive back. I think that was Charles Ball he got over.
I think you're right. Great play by Jalen Miller. As we check in on other action going on, Vancouver retakes the lead up in Canada. 10-7 over the Roughnecks. As Francis gets a handoff, and he'll be met right at the line of scrimmage. No gains. 2nd and 10.
And there is a point of time that you want to run the ball. You know, but when you're behind like this, I think you need to run the ball and be conservative with it and get the passing plays also.
Nate Heslip coming in from his free safety spot and stopping that before it got going. 2nd and 10. Francis avoiding tacklers, has blockers downfield over on the left-hand side. He gets caught right at the 15. They'll mark him at the 14. 1st and 10 into the red zone.
Here they're in a 3-4 again. And he's able to get to the outside alongside with some blockers here. But outside right there. Great job by that offensive line by helping him block there and able to move the ball.
Williams able to drag him down from behind. Otherwise, that could have been reservations for 6. It's 17 left to go. Francis going to get another handoff. He'll get about 2 that time. Mark him down at the 13.
And Francis just didn't let the play develop well there. Uh-oh. Like a man down here.
Kyron Hill down on the turf. Like maybe one of his guys fell on top of him. I don't know. Yeah. Not too sure on that one. We'll hope he's okay and he can come back to action. Meanwhile, 2nd and 9 from the 13. 4 wide receivers. Francis in the backfield for Biddix. He'll hand it off to Francis, trying to find some room. Makes it out to the 8-yard line. It'll be 3rd and 3.
Carolina's doing a great job by spreading this defense out. I like the way they were in a big passing formation here with 4 wide receivers and then ran the ball up the middle, spreading that defense out and allowing them to run the ball up the middle. Great job.
Now with a 3rd and short, kind of opens up the playbook a little bit more. We'll see what Biddix wants to do here. I formation, 3 wideouts, handoff to Francis. Francis gets met right at the line. He'll go down. Heslip in there on the stop.
Hey, Eric, that's where the play calling needs to go to pass. You know, if your ratio is such a higher number for the run, then you're not going to make those passes when you need to in the red zone.
Good observation as we have Klein lining up for a short field goal. Never guaranteed when you're non-contract, though. It should be a 24 or 25-yarder. High snap. Kick is up, and it is through. They'll mark it from 25. So it's a 7-3 ball game in favor of the Desperados as we get ready for a kickoff here.
Eric, I did like the way Carolina moved the ball down the field. I mean, they were methodical. They were consistent. Just had some trouble there in the red zone and couldn't punch it in.
Good mixed bag of play calls, not really relying too heavily on the pass or the run. We'll see what happens here as Tulsa gets the ball back. Fielded from about the 5 or 6. Nice little spin move. Could have possibly broke it for more out to the 31-yard line. Charles Ball again.
Yeah, Charles Ball is breaking ankles out there. Great spin move, making defenders miss. And like you said, could have been a real bad day for Carolina if he would have broke one or two more.
As I was calling the game with Levant Mercer earlier in the day, I told him I want to see a kickoff return for a touchdown. I haven't seen it in a game I've called. I'm ready for one. Maybe today will be the day. A little play action here for Robinson. First down yardage out to Corey Jones, the former Hyena. Gets the first down. That'll be the end of the first quarter.
I believe Corey also played for Vancouver Legion, so very experienced wide receiver there.
He's been making all sorts of stops in the SFL. Got a 7-3 ball game here in Carolina in favor of the visiting Desperados. We're going to flip sides of the field and come back here in just about 5 seconds. So we get a look at Corey Jones there on the sideline. San Francisco taking a lead off of the aforementioned Houston Hyenas. San Francisco at 14-0. As Deion Hawkins making people miss, bowling people over. First down yardage out to the 48. That's a good-looking run there by your former running back.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. I mean, he just runs the ball right up the middle. He doesn't care if there's a inside linebacker or outside linebacker there. He just runs them right over and makes this play work.
Sir Chappelle, I think, was finally the guy who brought him down. Two running backs in the backfield this time. 3 wideouts this time for Robinson. Delayed handoff, and he'll be met right at the line of scrimmage. It's good play there by the defensive front. I believe that was Cologne, and they'll go no huddle here. Another same play. Running the same play, and Deion Hawkins makes it out to the 42.
Again, this defense is stuck in this nickel here, so...
3rd and 4 and a big play down on the left-hand side. That was Corey Jones once again. They're trapped in this formation. Tulsa obviously seeing what they like. Robinson's going to throw again, and this time it was incomplete.
Shot at it to pick that ball off, and it was unable to get away with it.
Yeah, Phil Hall, the star outside linebacker, couldn't quite make the grab. So we'll go back into the huddle here as Tulsa will set up for a 2nd and 10. 3 wideouts, 2 backs in the backfield, hand off to Deion Hawkins. He gets met just beyond the line of scrimmage as we get a look at an injury update for Kyron Hill.
Really good run by Deion there. It looked like a far play with the two outside receivers, kind of drawing that defense off, and is able to run up the middle behind the fullback.
And now faced with a 3rd and 9, Robinson forced the pass, and he's going to get sacked in the backfield. Pocket was collapsing in a hurry. And Gibbs with his 2nd sack on the day.
It was good for Gibbs to stay with it. It looked like he was kind of, a little bit there, but it was able to stay with it and make that sack. Great play.
Okay, Joseph Carroll is going to line up for a field goal. Probably be a 45, 46-yarder. Kick is up and away, and it is good from 45 officially. So Tulsa extends their lead back up to 7. And you are watching the SFL on YouTube, presented by APM Music.
The Simulation Football League is presented by APM Music and is the official theme music provider of the SFL. Listen to their Champions Will Rise soundtrack at apmmusic.com today and search through thousands of tracks to boost the quality of your stream just like us.
The game's working for them, but it's not moving the ball quick enough down the field, and if they don't start doing that, they're going to find themselves
APM Music, production music library and custom music house.
All right, 10-3 in favor of the Desperados. Mark Biddix and company coming up to the line of scrimmage. Got some good guys in the chat. I'm a effing problem. Realison's Kumbaya, I mentioned you earlier. Dion Hawkins, Samson Robinson. Love a beat a team. And AJ Francis breaks it out on the left-hand side. Slips through a tackle. Almost slipped through a second one. Thought that was Espen Rael. It looked like it was defensive lineman finally got in there.
A defensive lineman ran this guy down. That's unbelievable. But he also has some slow up by this corner right here. Kind of slowed him up a little bit, and then the lineman was able to get to him and bring him on down.
Yeah, I think he hit the nail on the head on that one. Just trying to figure out exactly what he wanted to do past that. But it definitely looked like it was one of the defensive linemen that ran him down from behind. Nikolai Romanov. And another handoff. This time he gets stopped in the backfield. Francis already 78 yards on the ground, though. Good looking number so far from AJ Francis.
Yeah, Eric, but that's not putting points on the board. They're going to have to start moving the ball quickly down the field with maybe some deep post routes or maybe some slants over the middle.
The London Knights kind of fell into that trap on my previous game. Good numbers for Spencer Meyer, but wasn't quite moving the ball down the field as Biddix finds a man, gets it out to the 34-yard line. It's 3rd and inches upcoming.
And Mark Stride was like, "Get out of the way, ref. I'm trying to catch the ball here."
It's always funny when the zebras kind of ruin things, right?
Absolutely.
So we got a 3rd and inches upcoming. You think we'll see AJ Francis on this play?
Possibly. Looks like they're a heavy run team in this game, so you might see it right up the middle here, right behind the fullback, which was not a bad choice.
Especially with the 3 down linemen. We'll see if they give it to him. They do, and he is able to squeak it past the line of scrimmage. 1st down for Carolina.
I mean, like I've said so many other times, positive yards is always great. But at some point, you're going to have to make those positive yards bigger and better. So you need to move the ball down quickly and get your receivers open down the field.
Their defense has definitely been doing their team justice today as AJ Francis breaks it through the line of scrimmage. They'll mark it down 2nd and inches from the 23. Maybe they just need to keep feeding AJ Francis.
AJ Francis and that, the offensive line there, they're getting these the Desperados. They're getting these guys into a man-to-man. So they're bringing the guys down, and so when they do that, everybody's to the outside, so they're able to run up the middle at will. They're again in a 3-4 here.
And again, AJ Francis able to run on them at will. 5, 6, 7 yards out to the 15-yard line. We'll get another look here as Francis, again, no defenders really anywhere near him until he passed 3 or 4 yards past the line of scrimmage.
All right, and what you want to do is you want to have a tight offense to bring that defense down so that you can make those susceptible plays like that.
And now he's got 2 backs on either side of him. Biddix going to throw, has a man in the back of the end zone. Did he get it? Yes! Touchdown, Skyhawks! Mark Strike with a great catch as we get the torpedoes flying here in Carolina.
You're baiting these guys up, keep running, then all of a sudden, this trap right here by Mark Strike, just perfect, right on the money, and Mark Biddix was able to put it on the money.
Jeffrey DeSer beat on coverage there in the back of the end zone. Carolina hoping to even things up, make it a 10-10 ball game here. Snap is good, kick up and good. So we are level at 10-10. Tulsa and Carolina. This has been a good game so far, Shan. This is what you were expecting for today?
I basically, kind of, I knew it was going to be close. One of these teams were going to have to pull away. I knew it was going to be a run-heavy battle between the two teams. But it's basically going to come down to who wants it more.
Good points there. One of the great owners of our league, Shan Varner. Here alongside me, Eric Vincent with the play-by-play and analysis. Trying to make it out past the 32, does not. He gets knocked down there. So Charles Ball once again.
Both of these teams, Eric, is moving the ball quite well. I think their game plan for going into this game was very well thought about, and they're able to move the ball pretty much at will, both teams. And who's going to make the big play here?
Absolutely, as we get a little play action. We'll actually check it down to Hawkins. Hawkins can't really hold on to it. It'll be 2nd and 10.
I run the ball, I don't catch.
Could be similarly said for some of these defenders out here. They play defense for a reason. They don't catch. Get a look at some scores here in the SFL. San Francisco threatening to blow out the Hyenas there on the West Coast, 21-0, as they creep inside the 2-minute warning. Sir Charles gonna throw it. Got a man down the middle of the field. 1st and 10 for Tulsa.
Oh, and he just splits those three defenders there, right in the middle, on the money. Great job by to see this opening right here by the tight end, and just puts it right here on the money between 3 defenders.
Luis Latore, the tight end, making a great play as we get a look at him on the sideline there. That was a bullet thrown by Sir Charles.
And he's probably tired now.
No, I'm sure. Big man supposed to block, not really catch a whole lot. Sir Charles is going to throw again. Has a man. Dropped.
What I like about this defense is they're putting a lot of pressure. They're putting a lot of hurry up on this quarterback. I mean, you don't see it really because they don't get to the quarterback a lot, but that doesn't mean they're not putting pressure on him.
It's definitely a good point, because I think that throw was a little rushed. Had he had a little bit more time, might have completed it to the non-contract wideout. Couldn't quite make the play, though. So it'll be 2nd and 10. Carolina shifting things around. Sir Charles is going to throw again. Check down. This time it's going to be to Latore once again. Out to the 35-yard line.
Another point I'd like to make, that Mark is doing a great job by calling a place for this defense.
That's true. Mark Biddix, the defensive coordinator, over on the Carolina side of the ball. So 3rd and 5, Deion Hawkins, spin cycle, out across the 1st down marker, down to the 26. Great play by Deion Hawkins.
A couple plays down the field, boom, boom, and then all of a sudden they bring Deion Hawkins into the picture, right behind the fullback there, makes a couple spin moves, and he's into the open field there.
Phil Hall was caught alligator arming out there. Thought he had him. Good-looking numbers by Charles Robinson there, as they're knocking on the door, hoping to put some more points on the board. 5-0, trying to keep this undefeated season alive as he throws it out to the right-hand side. That's caught, sliding down for a 4-yard gain. It was Marcel Miller, I believe, one of their non-contract wideouts as well. Second and 6, delayed handoff. Hawkins trying to make a pass, cannot. He gets dragged down behind the line. And that was Sir Chappelle coming back in to make a tackle behind the line.
And again, Eric, I like what I'm seeing with this defense from Carolina. I'm a Carolina alumni. Came from Carolina. I was the offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator for this Skyhawks team, and I just love what I'm seeing here. They're playing well. They're not allowed too many yards down the field, and they're putting pressure on that quarterback, so that's always a plus.
Not this time, though, as Sir Charles Robinson finds Corey Jones at the back of the end zone. Touchdown, Desperados.
I mean, we've heard of Corey Jones in the second quarter, so kudos to that guy from getting open and when the time was just right.
Well, and that was a different formation I don't think Carolina was ready for. They had bunched wide receivers towards the top of the screen, but I don't think they were covering just about everybody. They covered the short routes a little bit better than the deep one.
That Sir Charles only had 193 yards last week against San Francisco.
Honestly, I can't believe that. Which is,
I don't even think he had a passing touchdown.
No, definitely not. And now he's got two. One
from Robinson and one from Corey Jones.
Yep, but he pushed his touchdown to interception ratio back into the positive, which is good. Now he's got 9 touchdowns to 8 picks on the season, over 1,000 yards passing. Tulsa will kick it off here. We'll see what Carolina wants to do. Strike kind of delays a little bit. Gathers it out to the 20-yard line. They'll mark him at the 19.
They're going to have to answer back quickly. I believe that in the second quarter is bounce back quickly, keep this game tight and close, keep it to 0-0 matchup, so to speak, and go into the half thinking we can still turn this thing around.
Going to run the 3-minute offense here. Biddix going to check it down, has a man crossing across the field. 9-yard gain. That was Jalen Miller.
It was not a design play. I think that Miller caught the ball out of desperation. Those DBs for Tulsa was down the field and not allowing any of those receivers to get open. That was just kind of a toss play there to a man to hopefully get some yards.
And they're getting things set back up at the 28-yard line. Second and short. Maybe one more play before we hit the 2-minute warning here. Hand off to Francis, trying to find some room. Doesn't get away, but he gets first down yardage out to the 31-yard line. Tiamani in there on the stop. And that's going to bring us to the 2-minute warning. 17-10 ball game here in Carolina. You are watching the SFL on YouTube, presented by APM Music.
Here's a look at Charles Ball ready to pounce on this thing whenever it comes his way.
Already got one interception in this game. Wanting another. Francis lowers the shoulder. Gets a good 5-yard chunk there on first down. Brings it out to the 35. Clock continuing to tick.
And I'm not saying that Carolina's not doing a great job by moving the football. I'm just saying that I think, to me personally, they need some plays in there that they can rely on also, and not just the run game. They become one-dimensional, and your defense can adapt to that and then hurt you in the long run, maybe third and fourth quarter.
Haslip with the tackle. Biddix to throw. Got Jalen Miller for a first down.
Perfect. That was a beautiful play there.
Got just the right amount of yards that they needed. Crosses the first down marker. They're probably going to take their time a little bit here, trying to bleed some clock going into the half.
Don't force a turnover, and keep the ball in your hands and hopefully come up with 3 points here.
That's been Rael almost forcing that turnover you spoke of there. Nice little...
have back in Chicago.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Definitely. Another guy. So clock stops with 59 seconds left to go in the half. 2nd and 10. Biddick, short drop. He'll throw it over to his left. And that's caught. Knocked out of bounds. Just shy of the first down marker there. Tristan DeAcy with the catch.
Eric, could you imagine if I had Clint Hendershot, Espen Royale, and Ajumu Afolabi?
I feel like you had those guys.
At one time, though.
Ah, that's true. That's true. All incredible linebackers in the SFL. 3rd and 3. Francis gets mauled. Knocked down at the 49. 4th and 1 upcoming for Carolina.
He was going with a full head of steam, too. I mean, he wasn't that was a big hit right there.
Well, the non-contract backers, Gus Jones coming in there, knocking him down. And Tulsa not electing to use their timeouts here. The clock will continue to bleed down. Meanwhile, we got a 20-7 ball game in Canada as the Legion are up 13 over the Roughnecks. Carolina took it all the way down to 3 seconds on the play clock. Fielded at about the 15, bringing it out to the 19. 6 seconds left to go. I don't really think we'll be expecting much on this final play here.
I think they're just going to run it out and go into halftime. They have the lead. They're right where they want to be. They might want to get a little bit more on Carolina, before the half, but I think they're comfortable right now, so I think they just run it out and go to the half.
Three wideouts, offset I formation. Sir Charles Robinson's going to be under center, taking his time with this play. He's going to hand it off to Hawkins. Hawkins trying to make something out of nothing. But that's going to bring us to a close here in Raleigh. First half of action, 17-10. Tulsa up on the hometown Skyhawks. We'll take you into the halftime report here, get you a look at the first half stats and highlights, and we'll be back momentarily. You are watching the SFL on YouTube, presented by APM Music. And we're back here in Raleigh, North Carolina, David A. Richardson Memorial Stadium. Klein's going to kick the ball back off to Tulsa. since Tulsa kicked off to start the game. Inside the 10, Charles Ball fumbles the football, and Carolina picks it up, rumbling the other way, and they're going to take over at the 22-yard line. What a turn of events for Carolina.
That big boy was like, I'm going to the house, I'm going to... Oh, no, never mind, I'm tired.
He took about 3 steps, and I think he was done. But just a terrible turn of events for Sir Charles Ball. Looks like he tried to get 2 hands around the ball, but still managed to cough it up.
Carolina gets the ball first in this half.
We were expecting to see Tulsa, but I guess Carolina will get an opportunity. See if maybe they can tie the ball game up here. From the 22, they'll hand it off to Francis, who goes nowhere. They're going to mark him down at the 22-yard line, gain of 1 on the play.
I do like the way they set that play up, but I would like to see him formation. You know, the best way to run the ball is behind a fullback or another lineman with a, you know, maybe a strong trap or something like that.
Bidix is going to throw, has a man on the left-hand side. That's caught. Tristan DAC gets knocked out of bounds at the 13, so it'll bring up 3rd and 1.
There. Wasn't nothing fancy. They just got open and moved the sticks.
23 guys watching right now, only 12 likes. Make sure we hit that thumbs up button. Let's hit that like button. Definitely helps out the league. Helps us know how we're doing as well. Hand off to Francis. Has the first down. Gets out to the 10-yard line. They'll mark it as 1st and goal.
Now, here's the problem for Carolina. They get down in this red zone. They get down in this 10-yard line, 11-yard line, and then they can't finish. Finish this drive here that they were such, you know, awarded with a great opportunity to turn. The ball was turned over. So let's see if they can punch it on in the end zone here.
3 points is 3 points, but they'd love to see 7 on the board. As Bidix throws it over to the left-hand side, gets it down to the 2.
For a second out there.
Carolina throwing it out to Greg Richardson. That was one of the backup tight ends. Look at that 2nd and goal from the 2. Can they punch it in? Francis evading 1 tackler. Doesn't get past the 2nd, though. He'll be knocked down at the 5-yard line. Loss of 3 by Espen Royale.
See how Tulsa's defense comes down here. I think I mentioned that to you, you know, at the half, Eric, that their defense comes down. So you're not really going to run the ball, especially with Espen Royale up there in the middle. So you're going to have to do some swing passes, get this ball to the outside, get away from that linebacker that's going to kill you up the middle.
Looks like they've got 7 in the box. They're still going to run anyway, and Francis fumbles the football at the 5-yard line. Tulsa's going to get the ball back.
That's not what they wanted.
No, I don't think that's what they were looking for there. And just 44 just pokes the ball right out there.
That Carolina has to finish this drive. So, unfortunately for Carolina, you know, but for Deion Hawkins and this offense coming up, maybe they can get to the outside and get, you know, some positive yards.
I do remember you saying that. Deion Hawkins thought he might have had some daylight there. He gets knocked down at the line of scrimmage. It's going to be 2nd and 10 from the 5. Two backs in the backfield for the Desperados. 2 wideouts as well. So Charles Robinson's going to hand it off to Deion Hawkins. Spin move. Another one. Makes it out to the 13-yard line. That was a good run.
Is that a tornado or? I mean, because I know, you know, in Tulsa they have tornadoes. I just.
Your guess is as good as mine. Looked like a tornado to me. Carolina was definitely getting out of the way of it. They didn't want to get sucked into it. Brings up a 3rd and 3 now. Sir Charles under center, deep drop. He's going to throw it to his left, and he has a man. Corey Jones able to keep his feet in bounds. 1st and 10.
Robinson takes that 7-step drop a lot of times. I don't like 7-step drops per se because if you have good protection down the field, it allows your defensive line to get to you quicker, especially if you have a contract player like Phil Hall or somebody like that can get in there and disrupt that pass.
Christopher Colon down there at the defensive tackle spot, too. He could very easily get in there. Play action for Tulsa. It'll be another check down, though. No gain as he gets wrapped up right around the line of scrimmage. Second and 10 from the 16. Robinson going to hand it off to Hawkins again. And I think the Desperados are falling into the same trap that the Skyhawks are with this run offense.
Yeah, they're going to have to open it up a little bit, and they have the place to do it. They have the personnel to do it. They just got to execute.
Another loss of a yard, 3rd and long now. Sir Charles forced into a passing situation as he's in the empty, 5 wideouts. He's going to pass, has plenty of time. He's going to throw it to the right. Did he get his feet in bounds? He did. 1st and 10. Sanzo Robinson with the toe drag swag on the right-hand side.
Tulsa has so many weapons that it puts these guys into a formation that they're not comfortable in. You see, these guys is going down the field and they stop, so it brings that safety up. And now he's one-on-one with Robinson here, and that's just not going to match up.
And Sanzo has a way of getting his feet in bounds for those big-time plays. Seen it plenty of times before. It was a really crisp route, too. 1st and 10. So Charles going to throw it to the right-hand side. Got him again. 4-yard gain this time.
Eric is just moving the ball forward. It's getting those positive yards. Something I preach it all day during practice.
Positive yards are better than negative yards. 3-4 yards on 1st down. That sets you up for success. Opens up the playbook a bit more.
You get 4 3-yard plays, you get a 1st down, right?
Yeah, absolutely. 2nd and 6. Sir Charles with a drop back. Similar play again. And he has Robinson once again, this time for a 1st down.
He's catching this. Excuse me. I think he's catching this Skyhawk defense in too much of a deep coverage, maybe a cover 12 or cover 8 here, and he's just moving the ball underneath. So great job by Robinson to see those big play opportunities from the defense.
Well, a good adjustment on the play call duties for the Desperados. We were just talking about them getting trapped in the run, as Sir Charles is going to get sacked. He really had no pocket whatsoever on that play.
And he didn't even take a big step back. It wasn't like a 5 or 7 step drop. It was just maybe a couple, about 3 to 5, but still could have got the ball out quick.
Nothing he could do there. 21-7 ball game over in San Francisco now as Houston is finally on the board. And 23-7 is your score up in Canada at the Legion home stadium. Another handoff to Hawkins, and he makes it out to the 39-yard line. It was a decent chunk of yards, 5 or 6. Still 3rd and long.
Yeah, it's hard to believe he's only got 4.3 yards per carry.
I keep waiting for him to rip off a huge run, similar to one of those A.J. Francis runs we saw earlier in the 1st half.
If he catches those linebackers sleeping back there, it's going to be a long day for Carolina.
There's some play action. Fortunately, had to check it down. The routes I don't think are quite there on that play action because they're probably wanting to go deep there. What do you think?
Action to go deep, maybe post route towards the middle of the field deep. But, I mean, it was a smooth transition on that play action fake. I mean, he really didn't really see it coming too much. He didn't really draw the defense off, I don't think.
So with 4th and 9, Desperados will have to punt. Not a great snap, but the kick is away. Strike is going to call for a fair catch just inside the 25-yard line. They'll mark it at the 24. And Carolina will try once again to see if they can tie the ball game up.
That was smart by to get the fair catch and down the ball there. They don't want a mistake happening like the fumble of a few minutes ago.
A.J. Francis back in the ball game. Killer fumble on that drive just when they recovered a fumble on the opening kickoff of the second half. Biddix is going to throw a laser, and it's picked off on the right-hand side. Jeffrey Desir with his first interception of the ball game.
Jeffrey Desir coming over from Baltimore makes a great play right here. Lane, he goes in and then back out. A great post route ran by the receiver there, but of it and come away with the interception.
So just when we're thinking that Carolina might be able to tie things up here, Tulsa's defense stands strong. Forces another turnover. It's still 17-10. Tulsa up. 40 from the 46. Sir Charles is going to throw. Thought he might have had Robinson there, but a good play by the linebacker. It's going to be second down.
He had a great route. You know, it was very well executed. He just couldn't hold on to the ball.
So 3:44 is where we'll stop the clock right now due to the incompletion. Make sure we're hitting that like button, guys. A lot of great people in the chat. Want to see some thumbs up. Hand off to Hawkins. Hawkins breaks through the middle. It's a good chunk of 8 yards there.
The Desperados are, mixing these plays up. You don't know if they're going to pass, they're going to run, play action fake. I mean, they're doing a great job of mixing the plays up and allowing Dion to also rest in those critical plays when it's 3rd down and 2.
Speaking of Dion Hawkins, great stat line from him in the chat there. 20 turnovers on the season for that Desperado defense. Sir Charles trying to get away, but he gets mauled in the backfield once again. It'll be a sack, setting up a 4th down.
Giving up these sacks. Like, do you want a sack? Do you want a sack?
And especially on a 3rd down, a critical 3rd down. Tulsa trying to pull themselves away here, and each time they get an opportunity, they can't quite seal the deal. Another fair catch called at the 10 this time. They'll mark it at the 11. So good plays by the Carolina defense. Gives them the ball right back off of a Desperado punt.
They've got to do something with this offensive drive right here. They've got to put points on the board at any cost. If it's 3, 7, whatever. They've got to put points on the board this go-around.
The momentum, it seems, is kind of in limbo. It doesn't seem like either team really has any of the momentum. But that's not faring well for Carolina since they're down in this game. And that's not going to help either going backwards. Is Mark Strike. Just kind of a funky-looking play.
Trying to do the salsa out there.
That's kind of what it looked like, didn't it? He was just kind of, moving the hips and... Hand off to Francis. Francis sidestepping tacklers. Gets out to the 19-yard line. Charles Ball gets in there and wraps up the running back.
The offensive line, I can't give enough credit to those guys. They're making these plays look easy for Francis, running up the middle and running to the outside. Doesn't matter. They're doing a great job. Blocks off to allow Francis to get those positive yards.
So we'll see what Carolina wants to do here. They got 4 wideouts. Francis is in the backfield. Dix is going to throw, has time. He's going to check it down to Francis. Takes his time getting across the line of scrimmage, though. And he ends up getting met by the defense. It'll be 4th down.
They had a guy at the top of the screen up there wide open. I mean, the corner up there was just – all he had to do was just a quick strike across the field over there, and, you know, could have picked up that first down. But unfortunately, they have to punt now.
Yeah, I think that was Jalen Miller that was towards the bottom of the screen there, just waiting for Biddix to throw him the ball. Fortunately, it's another Carolina punt. And Charles Ball is going to field it, but he'll go nowhere. A couple Skyhawks knock him down at the 39-yard line. We'll pause for a short bit while we play a little advertisement here for you.
Want to do what I do? Contact me in a DM on Discord to find out how you can get involved with streaming live games, calling games, or breaking them down on the air with our broadcast team. Or help make our production even better by joining our new live stats team, helping our broadcasters shine brighter. We are #LoadingLegends in the SFL.
Handoff going forward to Deion Hawkins, who fumbles the football. Who has it? I think Carolina fell on it once again. How many fumbles is that this game?
That would be 3.
3 fumbles? When was the last time we had 3 fumbles in a game?
When was the last time we had 3 fumbles and no points scored off the team that picks it up?
You know, can't really argue with that. And it looks like actually Carolina got the ball back somehow, some way. But yeah, 3 fumbles now as we got to look at A.J. Francis's numbers. 2 fumbles charged to him. Hicks is going to hand it off. Francis again takes it out to the 39-yard line.
Defense was ready for that, led by Espen Royale right there.
One of the best linebackers in the SFL. Can't really hate on him.
But from what I thought that was going to be a great field position for Tulsa, turned into be great field position for...
Absolutely. Didn't expect to see the reversal again. As Biddix throws, they might actually get him for a DPI on this one.
Without the wide receiver was going into a slant there, and looks like it's going to be pass interference.
Yep, they're going to call defensive pass interference. It's going to be an automatic first down for Carolina. And they're moving the ball progressively. Which, by the way, I want to give a shout-out to both these owners here. Great uniform combinations. I've always loved the Skyhawks uniform combos. And Deion Hawkins, you're putting together some great uni sets as well over in Tulsa. So definitely want to shout you guys out for that.
Thank you.
1st and 10. Yes, sir. 1st and 10. Handoff to Francis. Sidestepping tacklers. Makes it out to the 26-yard line. Gain of 6. Good chunk of yardage on first down.
Eric, here we are again, almost in the red zone. Carolina has to put points up here.
Are we going to see the same old Skyhawks, or are they finally going to put some points on the board? We will find out as the 3rd quarter of action comes to a close here in Raleigh. David A. Richardson Memorial Stadium here. 17-10 in favor of the visiting Desperados. An exciting ball game. We'll come right back and give you the conclusion.
The Simulation Football League is presented by APM.
Both sides of the field for the last time in the ball game. Biddix and company, 2nd and 4. Getting close to the red zone. Unfortunately, not a completion that'll push them through. Intended for Tristan DeAcy-Sace.
And Tulsa's defense comes up. Been doing all game, just shutting them out.
Offset I formation for Biddix. He's going to take a short drop. Design screen, I think, to the fullback. He's going to get only a couple, though. It'll be 4th down and 2. Excuse me.
He's a big guy. I mean, he can power through, but, you know, you need to get the ball to the running back and get behind the fullback in order to get those yards.
It looks like Carolina's offense is staying on the field.
I think they need to get some momentum into this drive. I mean, they're right here, Eric.
Got to get something going. Hopefully a handoff here to Francis with those 3 down linemen. That's been burning Tulsa the whole way, but I think they were just trying to get him to jump off sides.
And no offense to Tulsa, but I think they could have got that first down up the middle because they were in a 3-4 again.
Yep.
And I think they could have just went right up the middle and got those yards.
Yep, I agree completely. You've been pointing that out the whole game. Great analysis on that because he's been burning them the whole time with only those 3 down linemen. For whatever reason, those athletic linebackers can't quite make the play on Francis. But it's going to be a 4th and 2 here. Klein will come out for the field goal. It'll be either a 40 or 41 yarder. Definitely not a gimme. Good snap. Kick is up and away. And it is through. They'll mark it from 40. Carolina finally getting some more points on the board, narrowing the gap to 4.
And there's plenty of time, Eric, in this game to have another shot at getting some more points on the board for Carolina.
I think that was absolutely needed for Carolina, though. Trying to get some needed momentum and trying to swing some things in their favor.
Has to stand up for this high-powered offense from Tulsa, which can burn you at any moment with these high-powered receivers that they have on the field.
Charles Ball powers ahead to the 32-yard line. Decent field position. We'll see what the Desperados can do here. Their lead is dwindling away, only up by 4 now. Sir Charles Robinson going to stroll up to the line under center. Deion Hawkins in the backfield. From the 32, Robinson will pass. Check down over the middle of the line, in the middle of the field, excuse me. That was Corey Jones with a good catch.
Robinson had to get that ball out quick. That defensive line was coming for him.
And you pointed it out earlier in the game. This Carolina defensive front, they have been getting pressure on Sir Charles the entire game. Haven't really gotten a whole lot of sacks, but they've certainly made their presence felt. Stretch handoff play to Hawkins, which goes nowhere. He'll lose a yard. And this Carolina defense finally feeling some pep in their step here.
3 points, like you pointed out also, is, got a little bit momentum coming into this Carolina defense. And they're wanting to show that they're offensive guys. Hey, look, we're stopping these guys. Now it's your turn to put these points on the board.
Sir Charles forced the pass. Deep pass, has a man. Did he get it? He did. Caught. And Latorre with a great catch again from his tight end spot. Can you look at other SFL action? San Francisco extending their lead once again, up 28-7. The Sharks putting a beat down on the Hyenas today.
Robinson's quarterback rating is 12.
Great numbers there for Sir Charles. Deion making some nifty moves. 6-yard gain out to the 38-yard line.
Has that great vision downfield. That's what I loved about him when he was at Chicago. He had that presence to where, he can make those moves. He can look downfield. He can get through those gaps, make himself skinny, do all the things that a great running back can do, and he's doing it well here.
Another spin cycle gets him enough for a first down. Actually, they'll mark him shy. I'm not sure why they marked him so short. 3rd and inches on that play.
Throw a flag on that one.
I'd definitely throw a challenge. I feel it's worth it at this point. Although we're not going to see one. It's going to be 3rd and inches for the Desperados. Ball is right on that first down marker on the screen there.
This is going to be a run up the middle, so he should be able to pick it up.
And they will give it to him, just barely. But enough for a first down, Deion Hawkins.
passes out of this F-wing jokers to a run up the middle, which is very, very smart by Dion, coaching this offense. Very well put together.
So Charles Robinson going to pass. He's hit as he's thrown. It's incomplete. Gibbs throwing some pressure in there again. Clock stops, 7:43 left to go. Just as we gave you a score update over in San Francisco, Houston puts up another touchdown. They're down by 14 now with 6:46 left to go in the ballgame. Another handoff to Dion, little stutter step, spin cycle out to the 28-yard line. 3rd and 4 upcoming.
It doesn't look like very much, Eric. When he does that stutter step, it freezes people. I mean, you'll see the corners, you'll see the linebackers. They'll stop and like, oh, what is he doing here? And that little stutter step may not look like a lot, but he freezes those guys, and he's able to get more yards.
Absolutely. Got to focus on the body, not the head. But Deion Hawkins is in trouble in the backfield. He'll go absolutely nowhere and lose yardage on top of that.
I'm all right.
Just unbelievable. So K. Joseph Carroll is going to line up for a field goal here. Probably be a 47, 48-yarder. Good snap, kick up and away. And it is through from 47. A big kick by the star kicker for the Desperados. Lengthens the lead back up to 7. There's 6 minutes, 35 seconds left to go in regulation. 20-13 ball game for Tulsa. You're watching the SFL on YouTube, presented by APM Music. Fielded from about the 5-yard line. Mark Strike spinning. It gets dragged down at the 24-yard line.
Okay, Carolina has to come out slinging the ball this time. They're doing okay running the ball with A.J. Francis, but clock is ticking, guys. And you're going to have to score points quickly, and you're going to have to move the ball to give yourself a chance to get ahead in this game.
So they're going to need a touchdown here. Down by 7. Hand off to Francis. Almost gets by that initial tackler. 122 yards today. Good chunk of yardage for him on the day, but hasn't converted into points like you said earlier.
Have the weapons on the outside to make big plays with Strike and the other receivers, but they're just not utilizing them, and I don't know why. And they're going to have to figure something out going into the later part of this half.
Another throw for Biddix. This time he threads the needle and finds one of those weapons you were talking about over the middle of the field. Good play.
And or no.
It was Sam Scott, one of the tight ends there. Biddix is going to throw. Nifty little one-handed grab by DAC Sace. Nets him a 2-yard gain on that little pass play there.
And the good thing with that is they're catching the ball and they're immediately getting outside, so they're stopping that clock.
5:31 left to go here. Clock starts to tick again. Biddix not super impressive numbers on the day, but he's doing enough to kind of keep his team in the ball game. Biddix will throw. 5-step drop over to the right-hand side. Got a man. Jalen Miller able to keep his toes in bounds. That'll set up a 3rd and 2 for Carolina.
There's another great play, moving that ball steadily down the field. And you know, like I said before, hitting these great receivers. And they have a chance to get back into this game, Mark. I mean, Eric, excuse me.
Kanye Rockefeller hit the nail on the head. Do people not know this is the best game on right now? We need more people in the chats. Need more people watching. 7-point ball game. 5 minutes left to go. Francis gets the first down. Carolina's driving.
Francis is basically taking this Carolina team and putting it on his back, making plays down the field, running the ball, catching the ball, just doing whatever he has to do back into this game.
Phoenix under center, I formation. A.J. Francis gets another big handoff, trying to follow his blockers. 8-yard gain out to the 34-yard line.
You know, Eric, I think just then, blocker was just a little bit slower.
I think that's what it was.
He was just a little bit slower than Francis. He's like, move, guy, get out of the way. I'm trying to get some yards here. So,
we've had zebras slow him down. We've had offensive linemen slow him down. Not this time, though, as he makes it past the first down marker there, down to the 30-yard line.
A little bit like Deion Hawkins. This guy here would be dangerous.
But the key here is, got to see if they can convert. They've been down here several times this evening, haven't quite converted it. First and 10, 3:33 and counting left to go in the ballgame. Hand off to Francis again, trying to find a hole. Again, I believe his blockers were just a little too slow on that play. Brought it out to the 24-yard line, gain of 6.
Eric, you know what you get when you get a high dose of A.J. Francis?
What's that?
A.J. Francis gets tired. He goes to the sideline. So now when you're down here in the red zone, you've got a backup trying to make these plays, and then you got to settle for a field goal.
It's 100% true. We'll see what can happen here. Biddix is going to throw, mix some things up. Has a man, Jalen Miller. Able to kind of float it over the defender there. I got a little nervous.
Are both big keys to this offense. And, they just got to get more involved in this latter part of this fourth quarter here. You're trickling down to 2 minutes and 58 seconds. You've got to do something here.
First and 10 into the red zone from the 15. Biddix going to hand it off. Francis can't quite break free.
Young man is getting tired of there. You know, he's had the ball in his hand for he's 60% of the plays out here.
A good majority of them, I'd say. Newton was in there on the tackle on that last play. Biddix is going to throw. Has a man towards the right-hand side, and it's caught. Mark Strike. Touchdown, Carolina.
That's what I like to see. Making these big plays happen down the field. And as we get this second look right here, he just beats his guy. He just a one-on-one coverage right there, and he just beats Jeff Desir right there and makes a beautiful catch in the end zone. Great play by that offense.
Just snatched it right over his head. Able to reel in that catch for the touchdown, excuse me. And pending the extra point, we'll have another tie ball game here. Klein lines up for the kick. It's up and good. So we do have a 20-all tie here in Raleigh. And this is pretty much what we were thinking we were going to see today here, Shan.
Absolutely. I mean, it's just it's 0-0 now. Who is going to make that big play like I've talked about in the first half? Who's going to make that big play to separate this margin and come away with a W here?
And as we hit final from Canada, Vancouver able to seal a home victory 23-7 over the visiting Roughnecks. Charles Ball fields it at the 10, and he brings it out to the 32-yard line. That's been about where he starts things off for his Desperados each time. So 2 minutes, 24 seconds. Both teams, all 3 timeouts. Sir Charles Robinson in the gun. He's going to step back. He'll throw it over the middle. That's tipped and incomplete. Good play there by the linebackers.
Steve Campbell, he's a non-contract player, just reaching up and doing what he has to do to get this defense to hold these Desperados in check.
Got some more guys coming in from these other ball games. Mahmoud Ajalani, Andy Hamilton. Good to see everybody in the chat. Please be sure you hit that like button. Frank Champion in there as well. 2nd and 10.
Receiver set down here.
Ooh, he's got a man. Incomplete.
Carolina's DBs is keeping them in this game.
Sir Chappelle, the last time I called a Carolina game, he was all over the field. I made the joke that someone peed in his cereal at the morning breakfast. 3rd and 10 now for Tulsa. So Charles is going to throw, sidearm throw, and he's got a man, Sonzo Robinson, for the big clutch first down.
No, not Sonzo. He's been making those great catches all game.
Oh, I know. It's kind of hard to believe, right? Because he hasn't made any of those clutch receptions all game long. It's a great looking play there. Well, shit. We're at the 2-minute warning here. You think we're going to see overtime?
I think that... I mean, Tulsa's got a contract kicker. If they can get the ball down there in their kicker's range, they may have this game by 3. Carolina's defense is going to do here to stop them from getting to that point. So, Carolina.
All right, Sir Charles going to throw again. Tipped away at the last second. Great play by Ulandula.
Should have had the pick there for sure.
Oh, that was a pick 6 going the other way if he made it.
Yeah. Here, we didn't get to see the reaction off of the other DB there.
It's going to be a 2nd and 10 now. 1:55 left to go in regulation. A little check down. Looks like there were 2 wide receivers in the area, the tight end, and I think one of his non-contracts.
I think Dion's going to have some words with him in a few minutes.
Yeah, probably so. Probably a good bet. Latore, I think, was probably running his correct route. I'm not sure what was going on with that non-contract wide receiver in the mix there. So 3rd and 10.
Tulsa.
High snap. Can he get away? He does, but he gets sacked by the second guy. Carolina will burn their 2nd timeout as they knock him down in midfield. Great play by the Skyhawks defense.
I'm surprised about that, Eric. I mean, Robinson's kind of an elusive quarterback, so it was get sacked by that second guy. Should have ran up to the outside.
He's definitely shown some elusiveness as they punt the ball away to Carolina. Carolina will get one last shot. They're going to let it go. Some impressive backspin on that, but he's not able to keep his feet in bounds. He'll be marked as a touchback, come out to the 20-yard line.
I guess they'll do that every time. You think it's going to stay in, and they keep running. So
just tough there for the Tulsa Desperados fans. 20-20 ball game. We'll see what Carolina can do. They can easily take the lead and possibly win the game.
With Carolina, they're going to have to open it up, and they're going to have to stop giving it to A.J. Francis so much, unless it's in a swing pass or something like that.
Almost as if they heard you. Swung it out over to Francis. He gets about 3 yards. Moves the sticks, though, a little bit. 2nd and 7.
The most important thing here is he got out of bounds. He saves that clock time so they don't have to use their timeouts.
Yep, absolutely. They're down to 1 timeout. Tulsa with all 3 still. Got 4 down linemen. Bidix to throw, deep throw over the middle, and he threads the needle, finds a man out to the 44-yard line. Clock continuing to tick.
Now hurry up. One thing I don't want to see is them throwing the ball over their deep line, they're trying to thread the needle, and Charles Ball get a hold of it. That's going to be devastating.
Absolutely. Jalen Miller with the catch before then. Powers, the fullback, I believe, was able to get out of bounds and stop the clock. It's no gain, but they'll save their their last timeout.
So they can get in that kicker's field goal range.
2nd and 10, minute 15 left to go. Bidix with a quick throw to the right. Does he get out of bounds? He doesn't. They'll be forced to hurry back up.
Make mistakes if your receivers and everybody else are not ready to you snap that ball.
AC Sayes catches the crossing route, sneaks into the opposing territory, out to the 40-yard line, running no huddle again. Bidix check down to Francis. Francis trying to get past the line of scrimmage. He doesn't. Clock continuing to tick. 40 seconds left. Bidix. Screen pass. Francis tries to lower his shoulder. Doesn't work. Only able to get 2 or 3. Under 30 seconds left to play.
We're going to have to take a deep shot here.
1 timeout remaining for Carolina. Bidix has time. That's not a deep shot. Almost an interception and a turnover. That would have just ended things right there.
For sure. But it does stop the clock, so that's a good thing. Defense comes up clutch again.
They've been doing that most of the game for sure. San Francisco, by the way, up 21 points, 35-14 over on Houston. And it looks like we got the offense on the field for Carolina. This would be a long field goal. So they're going to go for it. Checks it down in the middle of the field. That's incomplete. That wasn't what you were looking for on that play, Shan.
Yeah. But it was a great job by Tulsa and stopping them from making that completion there because, that's another set of downs. So, Tulsa did what they had to do. Their defense, Espen Royale, of course, he's in there. And just making that great play. That's why he's the vet. I mean, he gets in there, he sees that read coverage there, and can make those great plays like that. And now they're in over their head for Carolina. Let's see what Tulsa can do here.
12 seconds, all 3 timeouts. Sir Charles has time, throws it over the middle. It's caught over the middle of the field. They burn up their first timeout right there with 7 seconds left to go.
I believe that's the tight end. So great job by the tight end right there to get open.
Yeah, Latore, I think, was his tight end there. Absolutely. So 2 more timeouts left, 7 seconds left to go. Sir Charles and company from the 48. Looks like they're in Hail Mary formation.
I've only seen this work one time, Eric.
I've seen it work once as well. We'll see if it works a second time. And he's going to get hit as he's thrown. It's incomplete. He'll have a chance for one more try.
Going into overtime here.
I'm thinking we're going to be set for overtime.
I've seen this play work was with Mexico City with Richard Montague.
Yep, Mexico City. And he avoids the pressure. Sir Charles stepping up. Will throw it. And he's got a man in the back of the end zone. Did he get it? He did! Touchdown, Tulsa! Are you kidding me?
Corey Jones? Why not?
Corey freaking Jones. Unbelievable. He had 5 defenders all around him in the back of the end zone. What the heck has just happened?
He's in front of him.
Oh my goodness. Unbelievable.
Look at that. That's awesome. I get to call a game where I've seen a work. That's awesome.
That was incredible. Certainly not what I was expecting to be the end result of this game. But man, kudos to both teams.
Kudos to both teams. Both teams played lights out. Heavy dose of running from each team. Just makes it out just a little bit with a great play there towards the end. So look at these numbers, man.
It's just unbelievable. I mean, again, video game numbers, ha 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 ha. But still, like, this is crazy.
But what you saw there, though, look at Carolina's offense. I mean, they put up 100-something odd yards for passing. They put up another 140 yards for the rushing. So they did their job. They just wasn't able to finish it. They were 3 times in the red zone, and they couldn't convert the touchdown. They had to settle for one time for they turned their ball over numerous times. So it was a well-fought battle between the two teams. It was a very good game.
Just a matter of which team wanted to convert their opportunities. And, you know, call it what you will, but this Hail Mary was an opportunity for the Tulsa Desperados, and they made it happen at the end. Only the second Hail Mary to ever be converted in Simulation Football League history.
And also, they had 2 tries at it. So Carolina's defense, like, okay, we saw this just a few minutes ago. They should have been able to stop this play, but unfortunately we're not. Corey Jones does a great job getting up there, getting in front of all those DBs from Carolina, and was able to make the play. Great play he made, and congratulations to the Tulsa Desperados.
It's an unbelievable ball game capped off by an unbelievable play. And I agree with everybody else in the chat. The fact that Sir Charles evaded a sack on this final play made it all the more impressive.
I already said that he was an elusive quarterback. I didn't understand how the second guy got in a while ago. And then he shows you again why he's one of the top quarterbacks in the league. That elusiveness helps him get and make these big plays down the field, and just puts their team in great positions to make great plays.
Absolutely unbelievable. We're going to look right here at it as he evades that first one, throws it up, and again, there's about 4 guys in the end zone with him, and Corey Jones just pulls off an unbelievable play. You got any final thoughts before we let the people go here, Shan?
I don't, man. I kind of left it on the field as Carolina, man. I hate for them. You know, this is their 3rd loss in a row, and I hate it for them. But, you know, I think James Klein and that organization will bounce back. I think they have the tools, they have the weapons to go forward. And, you know, nothing but good luck for me for the Skyhawks.
Absolutely. Carolina falls to 1-5. Tulsa remains undefeated at 6-0. We're going to send you guys out on that unbelievable play. Oh, my goodness. From Raleigh, North Carolina, on behalf of Shan Varner and our entire production team deep in the heart of Texas, from Raleigh, North Carolina, my name is Eric Vincent. Good night, everybody, and take care.